Hi, it's Sin. Welcome to the Pre-Patch Podcast. We're going to talk about Final Fantasy 16 because a huge amount of stuff came out at PAX, and there was a huge gameplay demo. This is all you guys. You guys are super stoned. I didn't get a chance to actually see Final Fantasy 16. I was busy on the floor working, but this is like 26 minutes of gameplay footage. I think is what got shown.
Yeah, this is the PAX East presentation with Yoshi P. I don't know if you watched that or not, Bill.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's pretty dang cool. It has me very much excited for the next installment of Final Fantasy. This looks more akin to what I like in an RPG. Um and it definitely seems like they've improved significantly from both Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Both of those kind of took different approaches to the live action style of Final Fantasy. This one seems to be really leaning into a direction.
for
Whether it's
sure.
a direction that people are going to want or if it's going to alienate the player base more, who knows? But
I don't think it
I,
will.
I I personally like it, and I like how they're going about a lot of things, which I'm sure you'll bring up here. 'Cause
I mean, it's both of us. So, but yeah, I think the biggest thing with like alienating the population, the player population, is just going to be like the people that want the original,
Yeah,
Final
go
Fantasy
fuck them.
based,
I want to play God of
like
War. I'm gonna play
Sin.
you
God of
have
Yeah,
War.
Octopath.
like Sin, exactly. But I think it's gonna have. I think it's gonna have something for everybody. Like honestly, like if you like playing games like God of War, if you like playing games like action RPGs, we can't say JRPG anymore because apparently Yoshi P thinks that that's a four-letter word. We can't say that anymore. I don't really understand that personally, but okay, whatever. Yoshi
You can
P,
blame
you're a
G4.
god.
That was the
But
direct like comparison
was
that he
that it?
brought up
I
was
gotcha.
G4
Okay.
and like that style of gaming
Well,
commentary back in the day. Just
well,
use
we all know
JRPG
where
as a
G4
meme.
went. G4 went down the fucking toilet. That's where G4 went. So yeah. But yeah, like the I was blown away personally by how it looked. Granted, I'm not going to be able to play it for like 2 years because it's not going to be fucking.
You
It's
could. You're
going
an
to go
epic
to
shill now, man. Just
it's going
get
to go
in.
to PC and go to Epic for a year. I guarantee it. But I from what I've seen, I'm extremely impressed with like the art style, with the graphics, with everything. I think that they've done a really really in depth like overhaul of the Final Fantasy. I was it 15, the one with Noctis.
Is
Hmm.
this running off of UE5? Is this not?
Is
No,
it?
I don't think so.
I don't
I
think it
think
is.
this
Yeah,
yeah. Let
I
me
can't. I can't.
fact check that, but
I
I
can't
don't
remember
believe it
exactly
is.
what it was, but yeah, like they went into depth with a bunch of the systems. I think one of the big ones that like, and I'm sure you want to talk about this as well, Bill. But one of the huge ones that I was like extremely impressed with was their accessibility system that they have in this game, where it comes to like difficulty levels.
Right.
I think they've done something extremely cool that I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've really seen any other games do this style of like difficulty slider. It's
Um
always
So Square Enix has had a few games that have done this, not like
had they.
directly as the difficulty. So I'm actually playing through Near Automata right now,
Okay,
and it has both difficulty selections that you can do, but the characters have equipables called chips, and some
gotcha.
of the chips have similar functionalities. Like there's an auto heal chip, there's a an auto battle chip where it'll automatically do combos for you. Stuff similar to that, nothing as robust as what they have done with
This
this
is like
game.
extremely cool. Yeah, so the way that they do it in this game, the way that they do it difficulty is like if you want the game to be like a Souls like game, right? You can play it completely like that. Just don't equip any of this stuff. Is essentially what they've been saying. They're just like this is equipment. We offer it to you. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't want to use it, it just makes the difficulty of the game that much harder, right? And so essentially what they do is they have like pieces of equipment like a ring that'll auto heal you, like Bill just said, or they have something else that'll auto attack for you, or that will auto parry. Or
Right.
it'll slow down time almost like it's like a
That was my favorite.
like a cutscene or not a cutscene, but what's the word for it?
A quick time.
Yeah, a quick time event. That
It
one I was
basically is
actually
what it
really
is.
impressed
That
with.
one was my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that a lot of going back to like the turn-based style of gamers that prefer the original, I think one thing that was alienating them from the modern Final Fantasies was mechanically they are a lot more difficult to play. Like Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Final Fantasy
Can I just
15.
interrupt you really quickly? All hail Yoshi P. All hail Yoshi P. He has showed himself on screen. Sorry, go ahead.
But I feel like there was an accessibility issue there because the turn-based, there's nothing mechanical to it. It's all
No.
strategy, mental, that kind of thing. Um, these kinds of mechanics, I feel like, does bridge that gap a little bit, so that if you're not confident in your reaction times or your ability to dodge successfully, having that ring
Or if you just
where,
don't want to. Like
or
if you
even
just
if you
don't want
just
to
don't
fucking
want
deal
to,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, it'll whenever an enemy swipes at you, it'll slow the game down. It'll give you the button prompt in the middle of the screen and effectively kind of like walk you through that. And for people that have disabilities that make their reaction time slower, this is going to be a godsend for
Yes,
them
it's
to be able
called
to enjoy this
age.
kind of game.
It's called age.
um, but they've really went above and beyond, and I really enjoy that they went back more to well, I guess did Final Fantasy, I don't remember if Final Fantasy 7 remake had difficulty modes. I'm glad they went back to the one static difficulty because Final Fantasy has always had that kind
Yeah.
of streamlined experience, and I'm glad this is going back to that. Final Fantasy 15 didn't have difficulty modes. Um, the remake did, and I was afraid that they were going to be going down that route in the future. Glad to see that they
I'm
didn't.
I'm also glad that they went to a more medieval setting.
Going back to high fantasy away from
Rather
futuristic
than
fantasy.
being future. I'm not I didn't mind 15 with the
They've always
futuristic
done an
fantasy,
interesting
but it was just
meld.
fucking weird, man. It just was weird to me coming from
It
14.
wasn't
I'm just
even
like,
like it wasn't even like futuristic fantasy. It kind of was because they've always had Mage Tech and stuff like that. But the fact that it was
it was
all
more of a
controlled by
modern day. Yeah,
demons, yeah, it was a weird storyline. It was
yeah.
a real weird storyline. Um, back to Sin's question though about the graphics engine. We don't know. Nobody knows. So Skill Up
Nobody
did
knows.
an interview at
This
the
shit's
start of
on UE5.
it's not. So Skill Up did an interview at the start of March with them, and they asked as an aside. I asked if it was running on the Luminous engine that Forspoken is running on. Square said no. I asked if it was running on Unreal Engine, and Square said no. I asked what it was. They refused to say.
So it's their own proprietary
Yeah,
something they've made. Okay,
Their own
yeah.
proprietary engine
interesting.
looks a shit ton like UE4 or UE5. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it could
It's a
very
gorgeous
well be.
game. I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's not. It's gorgeous.
it's definitely not Luminous Engine because I don't think that engine is properly optimized for modern day. I think there's a lot of issues with Luminous Engine that we saw with Forspoken graphically. Um, and I don't think, I think they were kind of a little bit gun shy from using at least Unreal 4 due to how many issues they had with the PC port of 7 Remake and 15.
I don't. Yeah,
Well,
it's not four
if
for
you can
sure.
do 5, there's no reason to do 4. Like upgrade. There's no reason to have it. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't know if
I don't know.
5 has been, I don't know if anybody's, oh, there's no, has there been a game released in 5 yet?
Yeah, UE5 has been used.
And has it had any of the same issues that UE4 had with like the shaders or stuttering or anything like that?
If it's a port, yes. But if it's just a direct, there's been games that have been direct to PC and not had that issue.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, it looks like it's going to be really good. I'm interested. So it's not going to be also. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a strictly like single character based game, and you wouldn't have a party whatsoever. That is not the case. You actually can choose who you have out as your side characters and whatnot. One of them being your pet wolf, and then there's other human characters and stuff like that. I'm
Which you
interested
can
to see
pet.
how
You can pet the
which you
dog.
can
By the way.
pet. You can pet the dog. Any game that allows you to pet the dog is an immediate 10 out of
Winner
10
in my
must
book.
buy. Yep.
Yep.
But I'm interested to see how they play into like optimizing and customizing those characters, especially the dog. Like if there's going to be equipment and whatnot that you're going to need to micromanage, or if they're going to kind of run like on their own and you just have to focus on Clive.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the icons or whatever they
Oh
call them
yeah,
in this
the
one.
big
Like
big kaiju
Garuda,
battles.
Ifrit. Yeah, that looks because like they did a huge pass on like Ifrit and Garuda and Titan. Titan is fucking huge in comparison to the rest of them, dude. Have you seen did you see Titan at all?
Oh yeah, he's massive. He's like
He's like
10
8 times
times.
the size of
Yeah.
Ifrit. Like
Yeah.
but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. I'm never going. I'm gonna have to watch you play it because it'll be 3 years before I can touch it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm excited to give it a try. Whenever it comes out for sure.
The
yep,
the two things that I'll say is one, um, the in our hotel that I stayed at that was right across from the convention center, they had a fucking massive it had to be easily like 150 feet by 150 feet video screen that nonstop played not this but like their trailer like their and I'm telling and then the craziest part about it was you'd come in randomly and there'd be a fucking 150-foot Moogle sitting on the fucking screen, just like sitting there, like bouncing up and down. It was the wildest thing. And when that bitch lit up, like when they had like Ifrit came on screen, it like lit the whole screen up. Dude, I'm telling you, it was like a flashbang went off in that. Like, whoever, I really think that's probably somebody got yelled at because it was blinding how bright that fucking shit was, and it just blew out into all of Boston. Like Boston lit up, like just from this one screen. So, yeah. So that was my experience with this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Final Fantasy podcast because this is what Bill and just sat here and talked about.
We weren't even that long.
I was like,
that long of a segment.
that was like a good 20-minute segment. I don't think I've ever been that quiet on this show.
Like a 10 or 15-minute segment.
yeah, there's no way.
I don't think I've ever been this quiet on the show ever. No, I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad you guys have something to look forward to. They ruined Final Fantasy for me, so it's okay. It's all right.
You have Octopath. It'll be okay.
Oh my god, I don't want Octopath. I want this, but I want it turn based.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Patch Notes. Don't forget, you can catch our cast live every Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern Standard, right here on YouTube and Twitch.tv. You can also find us at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, as well as the many other podcast platforms. You better be there.